Hey, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Reaction Bite Radio with your host, Kevin Postwaite, and co-host
Julie Price.
And we are here today with Shaun Douglas from the Ohio River Challenge Tour. Shaun, how are you?
Living the dream.
I guess it's late January, so things are starting to get busy for you on the tournament prep side, right?
Yes. Trying to go through, double check some rule changes with the committee and making sure all the cities are all good with the dates, getting some sponsorships and trying to get everything out the door.
So for anybody that doesn't know, Shaun helps run the Ohio River Challenge, which is a tour that's kind of exclusive to the Ohio River. You guys have two divisions now, right? A north and a south?
Correct. 3 tournaments per division and a championship.
So tell us about that. Tell us about the divisions and how you qualify for the championship out of those divisions.
So each division has 3 one-day tournaments. Keep points, top 50 in each division. Make it to the championship, which is $25,000 to win. Each one-day tournament's $2,000 guaranteed to win.
And you all pay, is it top 10%? Is that right?
Correct, 10%. Yep, we pay the top 10%, 80% of the and 80%
of the total purse, right? Yeah.
Yep, for the total purse. Yeah.
And then do you guys hold back a little bit for the championship out of each one?
Yeah, so everything that's held back literally goes straight into the championships. Nobody gets a salary or anything. We'll get our scales recertified every year. But other than that, yep, it all goes right back into the championship.
And you guys have a heck of a championship. The payout there is great. The championship's held the same place every year, right?
Yep. So far, always Parkersburg, City of Parkersburg. So they give us some money to hold it there. This year it's back there again. It's kind of centralized, so that to me makes it pretty nice. If them guys want to make them long runs, they can get into their home waters, just very long runs to get there.
And you guys do something a little different than some of the other tournament organizations. As far as the championship, you launch out of, is it 3 different ramps on that first day of the championship?
Yep.
At the Ohio River Challenge.
Run the Bass Festival as well. So the Bass Festival and the championship is the first day you have options of 3 ramps. For the championship, you got Belpre, Ravenswood, and St. Mary's.
That opens up a lot of room because if someone wanted to, they could actually, if they thought they had time, lock up one more if they really, really wanted to.
I believe there was some people that locked from St. Mary's, locked north twice the first day last October, and then locked back down 3 times. Long run, very long run.
Not a lot of time to fish, would it?
I think they said they had about 45 minutes roughly.
Yeah. Wow.
But brought a big bag of fish back first day. So
I mean, that's what it takes, right? So that's interesting. That's one of the things that I think is really unique about that tournament is, that format. Have you liked that? I mean, have the anglers liked that pretty well?
So as tournament director, volunteers, you cannot beat it really because you don't have to get there so early to put boats in. You're doing a 100-boat field, and when people start separating out like that, gone are the years of like the Bass Festival. The first year I ran it, we got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, started putting boats in at 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning. It just, you don't have to get up near as early. So I love it. Mixed reviews. There's a lot of guys that do like the ability to use 3 different ramps, but there's a lot of guys that don't. So it's kind of here and miss.
I think, Julie and I have never used the option, and some of that's just because of logistics of getting the trailer back to the ramp. But, the option's there, and everybody has known that for years, so it's not a big deal. And there's always plenty of fish to catch around in the pool that we fish out of because Julie hates to lock.
To lock? You're passing 1,000 fish to go find a fish. What?
I love it. I love to lock.
When I get to the river, I want to fish. I can't stand waiting for blast off. I'm just ready to go fishing.
I get it. I want to get away from people.
I think Julie could fish in a crowd. Like, she wouldn't care. I think if we just idled out to where we were taking off, put the trolling motor down and started fishing, she would be perfectly happy.
I mean, I wouldn't want people right up against me.
Right. Well, yeah, but they shouldn't be right up against you anyway.
We could talk about the time we got disqualified.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That guy too,
we need to talk about that. Yeah.
I mean, It just happened.
Yeah, that was awful because we
That
had
was first day of the championship.
first day of the champion.
And
So-
we had been doing well on the river that year.
oh yeah,
It was our year. We were actually going to make it to day 2.
Yeah, I was actually on some fish in practice that time. So Julie, tell the story. What happened?
So I was actually working away in South Carolina. I had driven 8 hours the day before to come in to fish this tournament. It was really cold that morning. When it's cold, I've got on a ton of clothes, but always the first thing I do when I get in the boat is put my life jacket on. That morning, I had on so many clothes, I couldn't move my arms. I'm waddling to the boat. By the time I get there, I'm just exhausted, and we had a long wait. I just sat down. Thought I'll put that on in a little bit because I can't deal with it right now. The blast off was at 7 a.m. It was 7:23, and we get to our first spot, pull in. Kevin unsnaps his life jacket and reached down to unsnap my life jacket, and it's not there under my butt. Looked over at Kevin, and he said, "What's wrong?" Because I had this look on my face, and I said, "I didn't have my life jacket on." And he was like, "Well, we're done. We're disqualified." And I immediately start crying.
She did. It was awful.
Oh,
It was
wow.
awful.
So he calls you, and Kevin doesn't get angry. I wasn't crying because, like, I felt horrible because he had been looking forward to this for months. He gets off the phone with you, and he's like, "We're disqualified." I cried some more. And
I didn't
then
mean to make you cry. You're going to make me cry.
and I don't cry. So Kevin
She
didn't
was
know
getting-
what to do.
Yeah.
Like,
She's getting mad at herself because she's crying.
so
That
Kevin's
that
like really
I get it. I couldn't
He-
imagine.
he's irritated because he doesn't get the fish, and he wasn't mad at me, but I think he wanted to wring my neck. But he can't show it because I'm crying. So I'm like, "We're already here. Let's just fish. Let's just have a fun day fishing. We're already here. Our day's ruined. We can fish." And he's like, "I don't really want to do that." And I said, "Well, let's just go fishing." And he's like, trying to make me stop crying. So he's like, "Okay." We leave our first spot. I don't know if we had already started idling. Like,
I think
you
so.
start in
I
the
think so.
boat and
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
And we go to our second spot. And the first cast, he catches a 2-pounder.
And I said,
No.
"We're going home."
Yes. It's,
He threw his fishing pole down and said, "I'm not doing this. We're going to the house. I'm not going to see how many fish I would have caught today because that's just going to make me really mad at you." So we go, we're unloading the boat or loading the boat, and I'm crying the whole time.
look, I would have to agree with Kevin. I'd have to go home.
Yeah, you can't. After I got the one, I was like, no, this is going to be, because
Yeah,
I
you
was on a
wreck 'em and
pretty good bite. And I was like, I can't do it because I'm going to catch 12 pounds or something and just be so mad. So I was
Correct.
like, nope, it's okay. It happened.
And
So
then
let's
you
just-
called back,
Yeah.
and Kevin thought you changed your mind and were just going to penalize us.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, instead you called back because I think you were so shocked that like I called and self-reported, Because,
Yeah. People don't self-report, right?
I mean,
I guarantee you
Yeah.
there's fishermen out there that's done that and nobody ever knew about it.
yeah. Yeah, Julie's like something, and I was like,
I was like, "Do you have to
can't-
tell?"
yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like,
I mean, and he was like, "Yes, like I'm not gonna win something." And he said, "Can you imagine having a trophy sitting on your desk, and every time you look at it, you lied to get it?"
Yeah. Yeah. Or even passing that lie detector test.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's not worth it. And when I made the call, I told Julie, I told her as soon as it stopped, so we're disqualified. But I thought I'll make the call just to be sure. And that was, of course, the answer, because
Right.
you can't, there's the gray lines of everything. So it was, it is what it was, a mistake. And now I make sure that she's got the life jacket on every time we start. But it's one of those things that happen. And I think that's the hard part like you've not heard this part of the story before ever. And I think
Yeah.
that's the hard part about being a tournament director is we've known each other for a long time. I've fished there for a long time, but it is what it is, and facts are facts, and things
Yeah.
happen sometimes, and it's what you do after it happens that really matters.
That is one of the hardest parts of a tournament director. I've had to disqualify some of my closest friends. I've lost some friends because of tournament directing that I'd probably never
Guarantee it.
lost before. But I'm the type of guy, I don't care who you are. My father's very active in it, right? If he missed the rule, he came in late, he's going to get the same punishment everybody else is. I would disqualify myself if I messed up. So
We were never upset with you. Never.
Yeah.
Julie was really upset with herself because, and I had, like I said, I had practiced and it had gone well. It was setting up just perfect for what I do for the first time like ever. There were 2 years in a row there where we finished second in the total points behind Ed Powell, before angler, team angler of the year. And that
Yep.
was one of those years. Everybody that knows Ed knows if you're finishing second to Ed in, the team points, you're doing pretty good. You've had a pretty good year.
You're feeling good about yourself.
Yeah. So I want to beat him, but at the same time, if you're finishing second to Ed, you're ahead of a whole lot of other people.
Yes.
It was one of those things that just happens. I know it's the first tournament I've ever been disqualified in. I always tell everybody, I'm like, yeah, I've been disqualified because it happens, and it
Yeah.
happens to anybody that fishes long enough. You're gonna get penalized or disqualified. It happens. I think most of the time, I hope most of the time, it's inadvertent. People don't. I don't think they go out necessarily to commit rules violations, but man, it happens.
And it was a fluke. We wear our life jackets when we're just out fun fishing. It was just you miss that first step and never get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Well, and I think the more you do stuff, whether it's tournament fishing or whatever you do, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get in it, and you get kind of relaxed about it. And like you said, you don't mean to do it; it just happens.
Mhm. Yeah. And the one thing about the river that you can talk about a little bit is those locks. I mean, people get stuck in those things,
Yes, they do.
and then they get disqualified. And how many times during the Bass Festival, especially, it seems like every year someone gets stuck in those locks and can't lock up in time. They're still in the lock whenever they're due to come in.
Yep, and that happens quite a bit. For us on the High River Challenge side, it wasn't too bad this year. I think the nation had some trouble in the fall, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they?
Yeah.
With some guys
Yeah.
coming in there. Maybe it was the AFLW side. I don't know. One of the qualifiers, I think it was. Quite a few guys was late coming back in.
When you start locking, you never know when one of the locks might break. Doesn't happen very often, but does happen.
Yeah.
And the one thing you all change that I really like, and that's an emphasis every year, is not locking through to the disadvantage of someone else later. Because that used to be, everybody has strategies, right?
Yep.
You hear about it, and especially the so-called river rats, right? I mean, guys that have been fishing the river their whole life, tournaments on the river, and they know or did know if they'd lock through at a certain time, then all the boats behind them are going to
It would
be
delay.
either late or, it's going to delay everyone behind you. So they created an advantage for themselves doing that. At the time that those were doing that, it wasn't a rules violation, right? Now might get your butt kicked in the parking lot violation, but it wasn't a technical rules violation.
As a director, I would use unsportsmanlike conduct and disqualify him for it if I ever caught him doing it. To me, it wouldn't even have to be a rule because I think that's very unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And then there becomes that fine line. When is it too late? And you all have you may have even said it at the last one, if you lock after a certain time, that's going to be considered unsportsmanlike conduct. I can't remember if you all put a time on it.
Yeah,
or not,
I think
but it was pretty
Dennis,
clear.
The last one. Yep, I think Dustin Dennis did.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I think that's a good thing because I think that it just keeps people from being in that gray area of unsportsmanlike conduct on those river. River tournaments are different. I don't know if people understand some of the stuff and strategy that goes into because you're traveling long distances. Gas is an issue sometimes.
Yeah, gas can be an issue. Time can be an issue. I literally sat one time and I got a navigable chart, and I literally, because I was fishing out Ravenswood, like I wanted to be way above St. Mary's. I'm sitting there just, can I make it? And we did it. We did it round trip. It was like 92 miles one way or something. I don't know. But yeah, you got to figure out where you can get gas or if you need to get gas and all that happy
Yeah.
jazz.
Yeah. And on the river, depending on the traffic, right? I mean, you got to be
Yep.
careful if they have gas or not because
Yes.
they can run out. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, I knew people pulled in to get gas and in a tournament and couldn't get it. It was out.
I don't think people realize when they're in the marina gas, a lot of times it's smaller tanks and
Yes.
they don't get gas regularly like regular gas stations do. So it's a big difference. Julie's sitting here looking at me like, you guys are talking some crazy stuff because I don't walk through. I don't run into any of this stuff.
Why would you do that?
But oftentimes the winners in those tournaments take those chances and make those long runs and do that.
Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. At the time we ran the 92 miles, we was on crazy good fish. They just didn't fire that day. We brought back a limit of fish, not near what we thought we was going to bring back.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's
that's when it's frustrating.
Yeah, whenever you go that far and swing and miss, that is frustrating. But you're also fishing for, what is it, 25,000, right? To win is it still 25 to win the challenge?
Challenge, yep, 25,000. So that's good payday.
I always said it's a really good payday. And has anyone ever won? I don't think they have, right? Because the High River Challenges, it's fairly new compared to the Bass Festival. I want to win. It's kind of like the Triple Crown, except it would be the Double Crown, I guess, is the Bass Festival and the challenge in the same year.
First, we would have to make it to day 2.
Yes, that's true.
Jason Suter almost did it in 2025. They won the Bass Festival, him and his dad, and him and Eric Strait come in second. Just got beat out by, I think it was less than a pound. But so he almost did it in 2025.
That's an amazing feat. I mean, if anyone does that, I don't know if people understand how hard that is because they're at two very different times of year on the river. And the fall is tough.
Yes, it can be, and it can be awesome, but it can be
then why don't we win the challenge every year?
I don't know why we don't win.
She said she loves fall on the river. I said, then why don't we win the challenge every year? Because it's always in October.
I agree. Fall is one of my favorite fishing times of the year on the river. But
yeah, if you find them, you can find them.
Wait, I think I've cried on the back of the boat twice. The first time we talked about was the life jacket incident.
And I know the other one.
Was the other one also during the challenge?
It was the Bass Festival, the second day. Because we'd finished, what was it?
7th or 8th?
7th or 8th on the first day. And then the second day, we went to a spot and she hooks this fish and it was 5 or better. And it got off.
I thought I was stuck on a log because it wouldn't move. And I am shaking my pole to get my hook loose from the log. And as it came loose, the log jumped up out of the water. And was huge fish. And I sat down and cried.
It was awful. We ended up finishing 15th, I think, that year, something like that. I don't know, but that would have went a long way in day 2. Because day 2 is always tougher.
I don't always cry on the back of the boats, but when I do, it's during your tournament.
Gee, thanks. And it's worth being crazy.
That was, yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
That was awful.
Yeah, a 5 on the river.
I'm like just shaking it loose because it won't move. Wow. Yeah. But I love fall on the river. Do you want to tell everybody about your new boat?
Sure.
Well, first of all, Shaun, does your wife know about your new boat?
She does. It took a lot of years to get her convinced that I needed a new boat. So
that everybody needs a new boat.
At least one in their life, right? But no, I bought a new F20 Tournament Edition Falcon 20-footer. It's black and purple, and I got it at 7 Rivers. Actually, it's on the showroom floor right at the moment for a couple months. So.
Nice.
Well, it's good storage in the winter.
It actually is. Yeah, you don't have to take it home in the salt and the grime and get it back in the garage. So it is pretty good storage. But anxious to get it home, get it broke in, and get the fishing in it. See if it's a proven winner. You got boats that's proven winners and some that's not. So try to get that one in the winner circle, one of these big events.
Yeah, that'd be great. What brand you go with on the motor?
The Yamaha.
Yamaha. I know it's Johnny Thompson, right? Has Seven Rivers Marine.
I think, well, the whole family, I think, is involved in it.
He carries the Suzukis, and I've always been curious about the Suzuki motor. You see a lot more of them, and I've been very curious about them.
He's actually got a Suzuki on his Predator, his Falcon. I don't know if you realize that or not. I fished the Fishers of Men with him last year in his boat. Very impressed with the Suzuki. And I've got a Suzuki 140 on my pontoon, or my wife's pontoon, and I've had it. I know well over 300 hours on our motor and no problem whatsoever. But the only bad thing about the Suzukis, they don't have the higher speed gear case on them, so they're not quite as fast as your other motors. But man, they're a bulletproof motor. I will tell you that.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. They're a very, very reliable motor.
And honestly, if I'd ended up keeping my Ranger, I would have probably repowered it with a Suzuki.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with mine. Is one of these days I'm going to repower now because I still got the old two-stroke, or I've got one of the last two strokes Mercury had, so the old Pro XS. One lower unit replaced so far.
Okay.
He drops hints about a new boat. When I buy something that costs that much money, I expect it to last the rest of my natural life.
It is ridiculous, the cost of boats. It really is.
It really is.
It is, yeah.
If it was up to me, we would still have the old Nitro that we started fishing together in.
Okay.
Yeah, but if it was up to her, we would, but we don't.
I'll tell you what made me decide. It's because I had the old Evinrude two-stroke too on my Ranger, and 2024, the first day of the challenge, I blew up about 3 miles up the river. I'm convinced to this day nobody would have touched us that year because we was on some big, big fish, multiple places. And man, when you blow up like that, it just makes you want to sink a boat right in the middle of the river.
Yeah. Equipment failure sucks.
It does. It does. And after that, we use my boat very little, and my partner, we use his all times.
Yeah, Kevin once called an Uber from a boat ramp in Pickwick because he broke down and had to go get his truck. So he left his boat at the ramp and called an Uber.
Really?
True story. Yeah, I left my boat with all my stuff in it. There were two ladies fishing on the dock, and I said, "Do you mind watching my boat while I go get my trailer?" Because on the first day of the tournament at Pickwick, I made it just probably 3 miles down the river and lost a lower unit. And I was like, well, I'm screwed. So I had to go call an Uber, and the guy came to the boat ramp, picked me up, drove me back to the other boat ramp because I just happened to be across from a boat ramp when the lower unit went out. And I trolling motored over there, tied it up, and had to Uber back the main launch, get my truck and trailer, come back and do all that. Lost a day of fishing and Ubered from a bass tournament, which I've never done. Never heard of anybody doing.
Listen, I've never heard or even thought about Ubering in a bass tournament.
It can happen.
The best part of that day, though, because he was out of the tournament, so when I got back to the ramp that evening, he had McDonald's and a coffee and food sitting there for me. And I was like, I could get used to this.
Yeah. My $6,000 day turned into her getting McDonald's.
Yeah.
Not winning $6,000,
right?
But writing a check for it to replace my lower unit.
When you come in from fishing tournaments, you're hungry.
You are hungry.
You are hungry. Yep, I agree. I think Eddie Powell talked when he was on there about our week at Hartwell there a few years ago, where we took his boat down. We was down there like a day, and his lower unit went out. We met my brother back in Withville to get my boat, went back down, lost my lower unit a day later. It was like 24 hours of driving for 8 hours of fishing total. It was just like, forget it. We're going home,
Oh, yeah. At that point, it's not meant to be. Karma is working against you for some reason or another. You just got to go with it. You're like, for whatever reason, I'm not meant to be here. Yes, I'm not meant to be at this place and time, and I'm done. Yep.
Did you know we're fishing the Fishers of Men Trail this year?
That's what I heard.
We already got our camping spot for the first stop in New York.
So the guy I believe I'm fishing with, we're not going to be able to fish Stonewall, the
Mm.
Fishers of Men. So we won't start till New York, but we're going to fish it till New York.
Nice.
I'll
That'll be
at
fun.
that time, we'll be in Hawaii.
Well, Hawaii or Stonewall, I don't know.
I know, right? And my wife, I mean, it's our 20th wedding anniversary gift to each other, right? And she's like,
Wow.
well, we'll just cancel Hawaii and you can stay here. I'm like, absolutely not. Nope.
That might have been a test of it'll be 25 years and it'll be your last one.
That 100% would be. She would have at that point blew my new bass boat up, and I would have never fished again in my entire lives.
Yeah. You've got to pick Hawaii every time there. You have to.
Yes, 100%.
For a multitude of
Yeah,
reasons.
that's for a whole lot of reasons.
That's not even a question.
But no, I'm looking forward to the Fishers of Men again. That was a fun trail last year.
Yeah, we're excited about it. Being a couple with a male and female, apparently that helps.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes. It'll be fun. But, just an excuse to go fish anywhere is always fun.
It is.
So everybody that comes on the show has to answer this question. If you had to fish with one lure, one color for the rest of your life, what would it be?
My one lure the rest of my life, and I have heard this, yes. So I do try to watch all your shows. I haven't got them all down, but I do watch them. Man, I really want to say like a black buzzbait because I love topwater, but I would probably, I don't know, be a black buzzbait or jig probably.
All right.
That's the first buzzbait, right?
First buzzbait.
You know,
I love topwater.
I need to keep a chart.
Everybody's been different.
Really?
At the end
Yeah.
of the year, I can see if there's any pattern, but so far, there have been no
None.
duplicates. We've
No.
got a jig, a buzzbait, a Ned rig,
Spinnerbait.
spinnerbait.
Spinnerbait, yeah.
What did
I
Lyle
would guess
say?
Eddie Powell was a Ned rig, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going after quantity. He's figuring he's just going to be able to catch a whole bunch of fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I just want to have fun, all right?
One of our
Just wanna
friends was
have
like,
fun.
you tell Ed Powell that I went and my wife made me go buy $8 for the Ned rigs.
Then what else was it?
Well, I said the LA worm, but then he changed it.
To a jig.
Was it a
Some sort.
jig?
Yeah, I think so. Jig of the LA worm. Ken said a worm. Little worm.
Ty said a Cinco.
Cinco. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been all over. I
Yeah.
really thought it would be the same couple of lures all the time, but nope, hadn't been. It's been really interesting.
Yeah.
So
Topwater, man. If I can catch fish on topwater, I'm happy.
yeah, there's nothing like catching a big smallmouth in topwater.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Julie hates topwater.
It
I've never met anybody that hated top.
Startles me. I'd literally screech when a fish jumps. If I see a fish chasing my lure in the water, I'll freak out and pull it out of the water.
That's why you have to turn your head, right?
Yeah,
When you're
that's
fishing
what they.
topwater.
Yeah.
Just turn your head.
Well,
Yeah.
that would be the only way.
Yeah, that's a lot of pros do that. If you watch, they kind of watch
Yeah.
out of the corner so that they don't overreact and pull it away from them. True story.
I don't like that feeling. Use the jig. I can't see it half the time. I can't even feel what's going on down there. I don't think it surprises me when
And
I
it-
catch a fish.
Yeah, and you sit there and you just think about it. It's tough to say one lure. Holy
Mhm.
moly. Thinking, boy, I could do this, you know.
Yeah, is it something I like to fish with, or is it something that I know I can catch fish with consistently wherever I go?
Right.
Yeah, there's a difference in that. So it's been interesting. Yeah.
I only fished with 3 things ever, period. So it's not that
Yeah, it's
hard
easy
for me.
you. Yes. Which is why you're very consistent with catching fish. You're never thinking about what you're going to use. You're just going to rotate through those things.
Hey, my partner's very consistent with what he throws.
Yeah.
Me, I've got 25 rods on the deck, 25
Me
different baits, and a lot of times he outfishes me within 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, I'm a junk fisher extraordinaire. I've got
Yep.
stuff everywhere, and I don't feel comfortable without it.
I don't have the patience to just throw that one bait just consistently. If I'm not catching fish on it, it's like, no, this ain't gonna work.
If I'm not catching fish on what I'm fishing with, I'll change the color and then,
And live and die with it all day long.
yes,
Yep.
I'll be like, I'm dying on this hill. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it's a slow, painful death.
My dad loved a buzzbait. Now that, you talk about a buzzbait, he loved buzzbait. And I tell the story, we used to fish the Ohio River together all the time. And he would throw that buzzbait, and we were in a tournament one day. He had not gotten a bite on a buzzbait all day. And he threw that thing from takeoff to the end. And I told someone I wanted to take that buzzbait and just throw it because I was so sick of hearing it all day long. Just
all day long.
Clatter all day long and not catching anything, just throwing that thing. He'd fished it so much that it was just annoying the crap out of me. It was funny.
Yep.
I always remember that. I don't know. He was like, well, if I get a bite, it'll be a big one. I was like, yeah, but you haven't had a bite on it in 6 hours.
Yeah. It's like my dad and a lizard, right? My dad will throw a lizard anywhere in the world. He's in Florida right now, and I guarantee you he has a lizard on a pole. And it's just like, if I went all my life and never seen another lizard, it wouldn't bother me a bit.
So tell us about its sponsor season for tournament organizations. I know that being involved in Bass Nation. So what's the sponsor situation look like as far as folks that are involved in the High River Challenge this year that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Of course, City of Parkersburg, they come up pretty big for the championship. I normally have them written down on a piece of paper when I do this, and I don't. Seven Rivers Marine is a very big part, and the girls in the trailer are from Seven Rivers Marine, so they do a bang-up job every tournament.
And trust me, that's a lot of work. Being in that trailer and doing all that stuff, it's a lot of work.
It is. And, getting that computer set up, my Lord, a couple hours for every event just trying to get the computer set up. Yeah, it is a lot of work. You got Douglas Builders, DNR Heating and Cooling. You got, Lordy B, I'm going to forget somebody and they'll probably shoot me. A1 Heating and Cooling, GSJ Construction, Serve Pro. Last year, Serve Pro was a big sponsor. I think that's about it.
Ohio River Outdoors.
I'll be honest with you, everybody bugs Doug to death. I've got his logo still on our trailer.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you.
I have really sat down and talked with him.
For anybody that hasn't been there, and I have no affiliation with Doug other than being, a customer like a lot of other people. But he's got it going on with the store.
He does.
It's the largest selection of bass fishing tackle, around. So anyone that hasn't been there, should stop by and visit Doug there at Ohio River Outdoors. He's got a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. So, always support the local shops, and he's really the only one around.
Massive store.
The Ohio River Valley, as far as
you got Hornbecks
this way. Yeah, you've got Hornbecks over there, which I've not been to Hornbecks in a long time.
I have not either.
And Great Outdoors down in Lavalette, but they're at Huntington.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of people traveling from Huntington up to St. Mary's.
No, but there's a lot of people that travel. Or again, I'm talking about High River Outdoors. There's a lot of people that travel a couple hours to come to Doug's.
Yeah, I can believe that. Especially he's got a heck of a muskie selection too.
Yes.
And the catfish. I've seen more catfish stuff in there too.
Yep.
Than what was there. So he's got a lot of stuff going on, and it's great. It's all needed because it keeps me from ordering stuff from Tackle Warehouse.
No, it does
The
not.
problem is, and I go in there and I buy a whole lot of stuff, and they're like, "Here's your receipt." I'm no, dude, throw that in the garbage. The wife don't need to know how much money I'm spending today. So, I finally got the girls in there trained not to give me my receipt.
Right. Luckily, Julie fishes, so I don't have to worry too much about that.
Well,
Yeah, that helps you a little bit.
everybody thinks Kevin and I are really weird, but from the time we have been together, we keep our money separate. Like,
Okay.
because we were older when we got together. We are both fiercely independent, and neither one of us wants anybody questioning our financial decisions.
No matter how bad they may be.
Yeah, if Kevin wants to go spend $400 on fishing baits, that is not affecting me in any way, shape, or form. He'll come home with a big bag, and I'll just say, like, did you need that? And the look he gives me, it becomes clear that he did need it.
I needed it right here in my heart, way, way down.
I mean, just look at these. They're going to catch fish.
They're gonna
right?
catch fish. We're gonna win everything.
I mean, but there are totes and totes and totes of stuff that could catch fish. I mean,
Yes.
which, whatever, we all have our thing.
And then she says, "You got any more of them jigs?"
So true. Yep.
And
Every
I say,
time.
yes, dear. I have plenty of them.
Yeah, that's not exactly what happens. It's usually, you didn't tell me you needed jigs too. Why didn't you order some jigs?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you go out and you buy the latest and greatest of everything, and you fall right back into throwing the same cotton picking thing you've threw for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I don't know.
100%.
What was it we saw on eBay recently that was selling for crazy?
I don't know. Pork frogs always go crazy.
No, it was shad.
Some spray, like the old Bang spray.
Bang.
Yeah, like the old time stuff, not the new stuff. And it was
Right.
selling for what? It might have been $50 a bottle.
I've got into doing a little bit of lure collecting, mega bass.
Yeah.
Have you ever paid attention to how much some of that stuff goes for?
No, because I don't throw a lot of mega bass because it's expensive on the top end.
What's Mega
Yeah.
Bass? Is that a
like-
brand?
Yeah, it's a brand like those jerk baits that I throw.
Jerk baits, top waters.
Yeah.
They have a lot of
I
different stuff.
seen
Well-
a PopX Top Popr 1
Yeah.
go for $800 the other night.
Yeah, they're Japanese company, right?
Do you have any of those?
I have a USA company and a Japanese company.
Yes, and I know some of the Japanese made stuff is wild. I know that it goes wild because they, I guess, tackle stores. If you've seen there's a lot of videos and stuff of tackle stores in Japan, and it is wild stuff. But a lot of it starts over there because those lakes are so pressured that
Yes.
once they figure out that something's hot over there, and then it just goes nuts in the U.S.
Nuts. Yep.
Yeah, and there is a huge secondary market for some of those original Japan baits.
It's
Which is cool.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you see, was it Chris Zaldane? Well, I don't know if he still is a Mega Bass guy or not, but he had a bunch of the Mega Bass stuff at one time. I mean, I guess all those guys are whatever they can catch fish on, but
So
Yeah.
you're buying it to not use, you're buying it to collect,
Yeah, I'm buying it new in box,
then keeping it
and
in
I'll
box.
never use it. I'll keep it, and when I get tired of it, sell it. But I mean, I'm just dibble dabbling in it.
old school wiggle warts, right?
Yeah, them things are going for stupid money.
Yeah, I saw one the other day, the craw color, new in box, original old stock, $395 or something. Yeah, it's wild.
You know what amazes me about fishermen? And I assume you're all like this, but I stopped one time, well, more than once, but one specific time, I stopped at a antique mall. They had a whole wall full of old fishing stuff. I called Kevin on FaceTime. They had it in Ziploc bags. And I'm just like, I didn't know if you wanted any of this. I hold the bag up, and he can tell me immediately what bait that is, what color it is, and
Yeah,
a rough estimate of its value.
Yeah.
I was amazed. I'm like, you can't find your shoes half the time. What?
it ain't important. The fishing stuff is.
Yes, it's priorities.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like a catalog. This was 35-year-old fishing lures, and he knows the brand name and the name of the bait.
Yep.
It's crazy.
The other thing, if you're an impressionable, nerdy kid that loves to bass fish, all of those baits were like the coolest things you've ever seen whenever you were
Yeah.
like the impressionable age. That was the best. You went in the tackle store and memorized everything, let alone the old Bassmaster catalog that you got. It was like the dream book of
Yep. Yep.
I think we had very different
childhood.
formidable years.
I probably got old Bassmaster magazines laying around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably stacks of them. Just don't know where they're at.
Don't know what to say.
So he's like, I knew you were a weird kid, but damn.
That's cute,
Yep.
honey.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what you said. Yeah, hell yeah, you're weird.
No, it's just amazing. The memory with that and the ability to identify this random object and like 50 of them. That's crazy. That's pretty
happens.
impressive.
Yeah.
There should be a
It's
game
good
show.
for something. Name that lure.
Lane
do that
lure.
the
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
maybe that'll be a podcast episode.
The next time we don't have a guest and have to just come up with something on the fly, I'm going to hold up baits and see how fast Kevin can name them.
That would be interesting. That's for sure.
So-
So, Shaun, you got anything else cool with the challenge going on this year? You said there's some rule changes.
Yeah, we're working on a couple. I ain't going to get too in depth with them right yet. My dad decided to winter in Florida, and everybody's just bouncing around. So we've got to get together as a committee again and solidify a couple of them. But yeah, we're going to have a couple minor rule changes, nothing too major. And maybe later on, before season starts, we'll jump back on again and
talk about those. Sure. Yeah, and
But-
if you've got any breaking news out of the High River Challenge, definitely let us know. We'll get you back on
Okay.
to talk about it because
Sure will.
sponsors changes, some come on, and the river towns and different things like that, hop on, and they have different events and things. Sometimes they'll put some events around some of these tournaments. So anything comes up, let us know because
I'd like to have
We're
a
all
lot
about the
bigger
challenge.
ramps.
yes.
'Cause I think we're averaging about 78 to 81 boats every tournament, and
That's
that's the hardest part of
fantastic.
this whole thing.
That's fantastic. The one thing, I have a Ranger, so I need to check and see if Ranger qualifies for the payouts.
Like the Ranger buck.
See, the contingency.
Yeah, I do know a few things that is changing. There was a gentleman sent in the information and registered the High River Challenge for the Phoenix contingency program. Falcon has a program right that the High River Challenge will qualify for. You might want to check with Rangers because they're big enough tournaments. They've got enough people.
Yeah, they are, and they've been around a while now, consistent, and love the river. I live here, 15, 20 minutes away from the river, from Ravenswood, and fish it a bunch, and I love the river tournaments. Rivers are my favorite, and I love what you guys are doing with the High River Challenge ever since it started. And it's a good tournament. It's well run. Everything goes smooth. And you mentioned earlier about tournament directing. Man, the one thing I appreciate about it is consistency. It is consistent.
We miss it occasionally, but we try really hard to keep it consistent. You guys seen last year, Dustin Dennis stepped in and tournament directed some for us, and he's realized there's a lot to the challenge and all the tournaments. Actually, this year, I'm probably going to take a trail and he's going to take a trail, kind of split the directing, but we do try to keep it consistent, fair. We formed a committee to try to govern the rules and laws and, and all the changes and whatnot. So it's just not one person.
I'll bring up another rules question that I had for you one time that I think it was so. Remember this?
Yeah.
Remember this? We were because we were fishing, and you look down and there's this bass just like there at the top of the water, and I'm like
Flopping around,
and I'm
but it
like-
was alive.
So we start looking, and I pull out the rules, and I'm like, there's nothing in this rule that says it has to be caught by a hook like some of the
Right.
old school rules say. But I think we just like, that's when I got back there, because I was like, I'm not gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
I think we did try to save it though, like because I put it in the empty side of the live well and put some juice on it and turned
Right.
the aerators on it and tried to save it. I don't know if
Not to turn in. Just to,
no, not to
just
turn
to-
in. We turned it back.
I don't know why it was there. I have no idea because it looked healthy, other than being wonky. So tried to rehabilitate it, put it back in. It was still acting weird. I don't know if it lived or not, but
I'll bet somebody hit it with a boat.
I have no idea. It was weird. So then I remember asking you, I was like, so does it have to be with a hook
with
and
a hook?
line? Yeah. Like, can you just reach in and grab it? You're like, no, you can't do that.
The look
not in
on
the
your
rule.
face of what?
Yeah, what the hell is this guy talking about?
They're like, are
Yeah.
these people idiots?
Like,
He's just going along hand fishing. I mean, it was a solid, 14-inch fish, probably. It was a good fish. I was like, what?
So
It was
one
funny.
time we was up pre-fishing for a tournament up on the Bond. This was years and years ago. And and we seen two bass. One bass tried to eat another one. It was just swimming around top. It was stuck. It was literally stuck, the two bass together. But that
Wow.
was probably the weirdest thing I ever seen fishing, or one of the weirdest things.
So did you, like, try to separate them or just let it go?
I tried to catch it, yes, but I was never successful, and
See,
I guarantee that
it's
fish
it's
died.
it's hard to catch them with your hands.
It is. Yes, it is. It
I think
100%
Kevin
is.
was like, "You need to put that in the rules." He's all about the rules.
Well, I mean, I could literally see someone doing that and be like, "It's not in the rule."
Yeah. I tell you, it's hard to get everything in the rules.
It is really
Man,
hard. Listen, you would think some of it, having been involved in tournaments now, you would think some of it would come down to common sense, but you can't rely on common sense.
you can't. No, you 100% can't sometimes.
You cannot.
Some of the
But-
questions I get, you're trying to read your text and you get closer and closer and closer, and you're like, "Did he really just say that?"
Yeah,
I guess
they
so.
do.
I'm sometimes amazed, like the longer I'm around tournaments, some of the things people complain about.
Yes.
It's like,
Yep.
wow. And most people involved in tournaments or tournament committees or tournament trails are either volunteering or
Nobody's getting rich.
nobody's
on,
making
No.
enough money to put up with the complaining. Like they're
No.
Right, and most of it's volunteer. For almost everything we do it because we want. If it wasn't for the volunteers and people putting it on, we wouldn't have a place to fish.
No, you
As far as
wouldn't.
tournaments, because there's not money in it. There's
Yeah.
just not.
And I'm sure a couple of years ago there was people looking at me during the championship, just going, "God, because that year I had all I could take. I'm trying to work my normal job. They would just be call, text, message, call, text, message. 90% of it, if they would just literally read the rules, all you gotta do is read the rules. It's there, and it's just like, oh my God.
You can understand it more if it were somebody that it was their first year fishing tournaments, because that happens. Folks get started, they hadn't fished tournaments before, but some of the worst questions come from people that have been doing it for 15 or 20 years. It's like, what are you doing? How did you ever get this far fishing?
Yeah. And they've done it for 15, 20 years, and they don't read the rules.
Yeah,
They
never
probably never read the rules.
Probably never cracked the rule book open. Signing that thing that they've read the rules, they really.
Yep.
You do that at your own peril. You really do.
Yeah.
I think in the Bass Festival and the High River Challenge, there's a mandatory polygraph. So
There is.
and of course, doing what I do for a living, I'm not a big fan of polygraphs. However, when you sign the tournament rules, it says that you're going to be bound by that polygraph. So it is what it is. You can gripe about it, you can complain about it, but we all sign the paper that says you'll be bound by it. And to my knowledge, no one's failed that. I don't know of anybody failing personally.
No, I
in
don't know
West
nobody
Virginia.
that's ever failed. And to be honest with you, if I ever had somebody fail, it'd probably be my last year as a tournament director, because I don't know how I'd handle that.
It would be awful. That's for sure. You hope that people self-police and do what they're supposed to do. The entry fee, whatever it is, $200, $250, it's just not worth your integrity. And things
It
happen.
does.
And I think most folks in West Virginia are pretty good about following the rules.
I think you're crazy.
Yeah, Julie and I disagree about this, but I don't think that intentional cheating is super prevalent in West Virginia.
Okay. Blatant cheating. I don't think there's a lot of that. But if you want to get into the unsportsmanlike behavior, some people
They push the line.
jump over those lines like they're playing hopscotch. You know as
Yeah,
well as I do.
And I'll say there's rules that I think 80% of the field probably miss.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I battled this one and didn't even really think about it till I became a tournament director. Kill switch.
Yeah.
I bet there's a ton of fishermen out there that don't hook their kill switch to their life vest, but it's actually a rule,
It is a rule.
So I think there's a lot of that, and I don't think they're purposely disobeying. I don't think they think about it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, not paying attention.
Was it Trail of Dreams always announced that you must have your life jacket on with your kill switch attached?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was drilled into our heads from the get-go.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
fish, there's a lot of us really that have fished some of the bigger tournament away from West Virginia. And Bassmaster, FLW, all those, they check all that equipment. They check your live wells, they check your kill switch, all that stuff when you go out. And I think there's a whole group of people that are in the habit of knowing that. Then there's probably, like you said, a whole group of people that they don't pay as much attention to it because they haven't had to. You're going to have those things. But as far as actual cheating to catch a fish, there's different areas and there's gray areas and things like that you can't police everything. And
You can't.
some people have more time than other people to be on the water and do different things like that. And then it's something we not fight. No, it's a problem in any tourism organizations. And you guys, I know, have fought the battle of off limit. Some people love them, some people hate them. But I'll tell you who hates them the most are your sponsors.
Well, they do.
They
Yep.
hate off limits because it keeps people from traveling to their places and spending money and doing the things. As much as maybe you and I as tournament fishermen would love for things to be off limits because we work and have jobs and we're busy all the time, so we don't get to go practice very much. For organizations that volunteer to represent, it's important for them to have people traveling and being there and spending money, because if they don't do that, you don't get it, and if you don't get it, you don't get to have the payouts that a High River Challenge gets to do.
Yeah, and we had a group of people complaining about the Friday night meetings for Bass Festival and the High River Challenge Championship, right? And complaints.
Yeah, but you got to bring people there. The city's paying you money, and they want people there.
Is literally coming to show, them sponsors that people's there, right? We're trying to make our faces known, because that has a lot to do with getting them big sponsors, and
they look at
that.
And listen, these cities and county, they can tell when tournaments are in town by the taxes that they collect.
Yes.
And if people think that they don't look at that, they're crazy, because they do look at it. Like, they check that stuff because it's important to them.
Yes.
Because whenever they have grants and things like that they get, they want to support organizations and events that support them and let them grow. So it's important for anybody listening to this podcast, if you have tournament organizations in cities and sponsors that are sponsoring events, to support those sponsors that support you, because they do look, it does matter. And without their help, we're not able to do it, because none of these things make money on their own. None. They just don't. There's not enough payout to make it worth doing anything without the sponsor help. So we appreciate all those sponsors, and I know you all do.
We can't do it without them.
You can't do it without them, and you can't say enough to support the folks that support whatever tournament organization you fish, whatever city you fish in. Go there, spend some money, stop at the gas stations, McDonald's. I know there's McDonald's there in St. Mary's, and it's pretty busy during the morning, which is great. That's exactly what you want it to be. It's all important, and people may not realize it is, but it really is. That gas that you buy and the snacks you buy make a difference.
Yeah,
and
heck yeah,
they're looking. So, Shaun, anything else?
I don't think so.
We really appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy.
Anybody that's on here is volunteering their time for us, and we really appreciate it. And
it's not a problem. So we'll catch you later.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a good interview.
That was a good interview. A lot of useful information, and those folks at the High River Challenge do a great job.
They do.
Yeah. A lot of work, a lot of hard work, and they don't get paid for any of it.
I enjoy that trail.
Yeah, I do too. Very well run, very fair.
When we're doing interviews, and I need to start writing stuff down because I get ideas. We were talking about, you said something, if somebody's new to the tournament scene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should do a show about tournament etiquette.
Yeah, do's and don'ts.
Yeah, and even with draw tournaments, when you're getting put on somebody's boat, and I think
good idea.
That would be a good show.
Yeah, it would be. I like it.
I do too. All right.
Especially, maybe we'll get some of the new folks that are fishing one of these trails.
Maybe if someone's out there and you've signed up this year and you've never fished before, and
you want to get on and you have questions,
we can walk through some stuff and you can ask questions, and we'll impart our knowledge upon you. Yes. So All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. If you've made it this far, please like the channel and subscribe.
Send it to
We
your
appreciate it.
friends.
Yeah, all the things.
All the things.
Smash all the buttons. Share all the things. All the whatever it is the kids say now. So
I don't know if they say that anymore.
I have no idea. I probably just dated myself by like 10 or 15 years. Like, smash.
That subscribe button, you know what to do.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, we appreciate it, and
we'll see you again next week. Thanks.